Good morning, friends, and welcome to my hobby home. My name is Cathy. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am working on my next block for Poppie cotton. This is a sew along. It's for Country Blessings. It's a block of the month quilt pattern. So this morning I will be working on this one, which is the mushrooms. I already have all of my fabric cut in my little acrylic tray. Several of you have already said something about my acrylic trays. I do have a link down in the description for this exact tray. I purchased this from Amazon and they come, I think, in sets of 2. I could not say without this. I absolutely love this tray. I have 2 of them. I actually purchased them about 2 years ago, and they still have the same exact ones on Amazon, but I got them during a house remodel. Y'all, I'm always doing a house remodel. I started in 2021. I got sick. It took 6 months for me to get back to it, but this was something that I had purchased, and then it didn't work as what I wanted to use it for, but it works for this. I love it. I also have all my templates cut out. Now, I did my templates different this time. I'm trying different methods to cut out templates. So far, I haven't really found one that I really like that works for me real good, but this one worked. What I did, I took the template, and it is already laminated cut out, so I just traced it onto the fabric with my fabric pen. And that works, but I don't know how accurate it is. That's why I don't like templates. To me, they're not very accurate. So we're just going to get started here. So how is your morning going? I've already been out in the garden and had my little 2 strawberries that was ready to pick. I done ate them both. That was my little snack this morning, because I'm bad about getting up in the morning and not having breakfast. So we have, this time, our block came with 4 red fat quarters, a cream fat quarter, a brown fat quarter, and then I have the white from, it's the backing, not the backing, the background. So we are just going to get started. It says use the sew and flip. I see they use different terminology for this. I think it's called snowballing. I think it's where you put the little square at the top left corner and top right corner. You sew them and then you cut them, trim them off. So that's what we're going to do. Let me get my book here, and I'm going to lay my fabrics down here so I have access to my book easier, because I have to keep my pattern where I can read it. So we are going to use an A. These are A's. I have 4 different A's. They're this is part of the 4 red fat quarters. And G's. These are my G's. Now, I am going to have to draw a diagonal on them, which I have not already done. I've just cut my fabric out, and that is it for this. And then we're going to need H's as well. And the H's, these are some little tiny, these are alphabety size, if that tells you anything. And I'm going to have to do that. Let me see if it says, and I'm sure I need to do all 4 of these like this, because, yes, I have to do all 4 of them like that. So I'm going to put my diagonal and bring you right back once I'm done. And I am back. I have all of these done. So what we are going to do is take our A rectangle, and we are going to put a G square up on the top left of each one. We'll do one on the top right as well. So it doesn't really matter what side you put it on. Right now, getting my little laser light on there so I can get right on that line. And what I'm going to do is just do all 4 of them at one time. Yeah, I've been in my garden this morning, so if I'm a little looking a little red-eyed, I got into something out there. Ooh, got my eyeballs itching and a watering. I love going into my garden this time of the morning. It's so quiet out there and not hot. That's the main thing, it's not hot. But I noticed something started digging in my big bed, so I'm going to have to fix whatever that is. It was probably a cat. And that's the bed that all of that holy basil started growing in, y'all. Oh my goodness, I have so much basil. I think it's holy basil. I'll have to look in my smock pocket. I have a garden smock that I wear when I'm out there that keeps all my tools and stuff, all my little shovels and rakes and things in it, my gloves. I'll have to check that to see, because I think I left the seed packet in my smock top. And I'm because I know I had okra and I just went on and planted all that okra in there, but I'm pretty certain I left this in my smock. But if I didn't, I feel pretty certain it was that Tulsi basil or holy basil. I think that's what it's called. It's one of the basils that Jess with Roots and Refuge, because I watch her a lot. She has some really great gardening tips. So I really like watching her. I watch I'm trying to think who it's called. Weeping Willow Farms, I think. I watch her, and I watch Becky with Acre Homestead. And I will be doing some of what she does, because she preserves her onions and garlic kind of in the same way that I'm going to do it. And I'll bring you guys along when I start doing that. I already have a load of onions in my freeze dryer right now. I just got that in there this morning for my brother-in-law. Yeah, it's a early morning and I've already got several things accomplished. I actually think it was about 6:30 when I sat down, I believe. But I've already got up. I took the onions out of the freezer. I put the diced onions in the freezer to freeze. I took them out of the freezer and got them in the freeze dryer. So they're going right now. And I will be doing more onions and garlic, hopefully today. And it's Saturday, so I've got a big day. I think I told you in one of the other videos that I have my weekend planned out by the hour. And I do. I have a lot of stuff planned out. But I'm going to tell you, my husband got called in to work a day early. So that meant I had to pick up some of the things that he was going to do. And it doesn't look like I'm going to get them finished myself either. I needed to mow the rest of around my garden area. And that's probably not going to happen either. But I did go out and check the garden and checked all the outdoor animals. Make sure they're okay. Got food and water. And so everything is good on that end. I'm probably just going to have to pay somebody to come finish that mowing stuff, because I'm just not up for it. Not that it's too hot. It's just I don't have enough time and physical ability to do all of that. Okay, so now I'm taking my H's, and they're so small that they actually will fit under that G without, when I sew, it won't get up on the G. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just going to go ahead and start by putting those on as well. That way I can trim all at one time, and I can press everything at one time. Now on the picture, it's showing it a lot further apart than it is when you put these together, because I know I measured these. So the picture is showing these pieces a lot further apart than they are when you put them together, because I know my pieces are exact spot on measured. Maybe the picture was done for demonstration purposes, just to give you a better idea of what it's supposed to do, because I know mine are not that far apart, not at all, and I'm pretty certain they're all right. I had to make sure that bigger block was the right size, because I'm thinking that one looked a little big for what it was supposed to be, but it's right too. Now I'm going to put the other little square on the other end, or other side. We are just going to keep on doing this. And once again, this is not a tutorial. It is just me sewing. And I talk to myself a lot when I sew, just to make sure I don't mess up. So, I'm hoping you all are having a lovely day, because it's morning time while I'm recording, but I know you're not getting this until 5 p.m. at night. That's when it releases, and some of you don't watch it at that time, and that's okay. I appreciate that you watch it at all, because I assure you, I have nothing new to provide to you by means of sewing and quilting. And just like that, we have our mushroom tops completed. So our next step is we will be using one of our templates. Well, it looks like we're using all three of our templates. Okay, this is one template, and then we have our two templates. So we are going to take our A template, and we are going to put a B on the right side and a C on the left side. Okay. This is going to be interesting. So let's get going with the B's. The B is actually on the left side, not the right. It's my right when I turn it upside down like that. Trying to keep on that 1/4 of an inch all the way down, because this template, it looks like you're only going to, I'm going to look at this one real quick. That looks a little off, but we'll try it to be better with the next one then. Okay, so we're hoping this one comes out a little better than the last one. I'm not even going to look at it. I am just going to go to my next one, because it looks like we're doing all 4 of these at the same time. And because these are going to be our mushroom stumps, or stalks, whatever you're going to call it. Making sure we're lined up here real good. I need to put extra stitches there so I can actually raise the needle up. Now, some of these are lining up real nice and some not so nice, but that's part of templates for me. I'm not very good with these things. Now on to our right side. Yeah, I seem to be dropping all kinds of stuff today. I can't seem to hold on to anything for nothing today. And I know my grammar was just awful right then, but I'm sorry. I can't seem to hold on to anything today. Maybe that's better. It's too early in the morning to be thinking about grammar rules for me. Although they should come natural to me We are just getting our little mushroom tops done here. Stumps done here. This is not the top. This is the stump. It has quite a few tiny pieces on this block as well. And yeah, I don't know if you have a local quilt shop in your area that's doing this sew along. I think this is just a sew along that one of my local quilt shops is doing. I don't know if Poppie Cotton, if this is something they released as a sew along, and I really need to look into that. But it looks like the shop picks out the fabric, that they don't use the same thing that is used in this, because they don't, and they use a blend and mix of fabrics, because this has several different Poppie Cotton lines in it. Let me press and I'll be right back. We now have 2 more pieces to put on this to complete this block. We will take the H's, make sure I should have 8. Yes, I do have 8. This is one of the things I dropped. So, but I will put an H on the corner here, and I am going to do this on both sides as well, and hopefully this will all work out, because where I had to sew on that template, it didn't attach at the very end, or it, you know how that goes. Because I'm hoping to be able to go doing a little thrift shopping today. I am looking for some things in particular. I do have some things that I had to thrift online. Not fabric this time, but it's some houseware things that I'm needing that I haven't been able to find, you know, in shops. But I have been able to find some things that I needed on eBay. And I know I need to get better about listing things in my eBay store that I have thrifted myself. But I'm not good at that. So I am going to trim and then press and be right back with you. Now we have our little mushroom bases done. So now what we are going to do is add an F. I think it's an F on each side. It's a little rectangle piece. This piece right here. This is our background. It's a background piece. So that means we are constructing this unit here. So we're almost done completing our mushroom unit itself, but then we'll have to put all 4 of them together to make the complete block. And we will put one of these on each side. I don't know if I said that or not, but we will put one on each side. And I am back with my little mushroom stumps. Here we go. I had to take a little break there. So, had to watch a little of a live that I love to catch on Saturday mornings. Y'all, on Saturday mornings, Sean with the Guy Who Sews, he has a live at 7 a.m. Central Time. So I try to catch him most Saturdays. If I'm up, I like to catch him. But, yes, he was good today. He had the awkward quilter on today. And I had to jump out because I was like, I need to get back to this. I need to get back to this. So now what we are going to be doing is taking our little stumps, and we're going to be sewing our caps on top. I now have both of my units measured, so they should be working right. So what we are going to do is put the bottom of the mushroom top to the top of the mushroom bottom. And we are going to sew that at 1/4 of an inch. And we will continue to do that. I hope I did that right. I hope I put the right end on there. Yeah. The small end goes to the top to make it look like a mushroom. So we are going to just match all of these up and just sew them up, and we will have our mushrooms done. And y'all, something they talked about in the live with the guy who sews, I didn't catch the lady's name, but she's the, I think, awkward quilter. I didn't catch her name, so I'll have to watch it again to catch her name. I'll have to watch the replay. But her question was, how many quilts, like, have you made or something like that? And so I started looking at my book, and I'm like, I don't have a clue, because I've given 3 of my quilts away. I know I've given 3 away. 1 to each of my grandbabies, and 1 to a friend of mine, her baby, when she had her baby. I'm going to press, and we're going to see what our little mushrooms look like. I now have all my little mushrooms completed. So now we need to start attaching these together to make our full unit. And y'all, this is almost done, which is... This sew along is so easy. I'm just telling you, it is so easy. I have my E, this is my E, and this is my D. And these are sort of like joining pieces. So on my E, I have to have, let's find a brown. We have a brown, and then we need a cream. Okay. So, these are going to alternate. So, I'm making sure I put them in the correct direction here. We'll first put an E on that piece, and then we'll put a D on the second piece, or the second mushroom, and then we'll join those two together. And we'll put an E on the outside of that second mushroom as well. But I'm going to go on and do this to all of my mushrooms. Go on and get that outside piece, or that first piece, attached to the mushroom. So this is the first piece for this mushroom, because this is going to be our center joining piece. Yeah, this is so pretty. I really like these colors that they picked. It's quite unusual for me. You know, it's not the same colors as on the pamphlet, but they're close enough to the color that you can't really tell. And this is a cute little polka dot that they're using as the background. It's really cute. I wonder if everybody in the sew-along got the same exact background, because they gave everybody their background up front in the first packet. So I'm wondering if maybe some people got different backgrounds. But, you know, kind of the same gist. They're all the same color, but maybe like a different design on it. Is it all the same poppy cotton polka dots? Because it was a lot of fabric. Okay, so now I have these put together. Now all I have to do is join them and put the last outside sashing piece kind of on it, and then I'll do a top and bottom sashing. So I'm going to press these so I can complete the next step. I now have both sets of my mushrooms with their pieces on them. So what I'm going to do is just go on and start attaching the two together. And then I'll need to attach the last piece over on the right side of my blocks. But I'm going to press them out too, so I like to press between each piece so I can see what it's looking like. And now we put the last strip to finish these rows of mushrooms. We're going to put our last strip on here. Get this little mushroom out of the way there. Trying to get on that 1/4 of an inch stitch mark there. Now our next step is to add a C strip or sashing to the top and the bottom of the first and the second rows. So this is my first row. No, this is my second row. This is my first row. So I am going to add a C to the top of this one. And the reason the differencing of the first row and the second row is the placement of the mushrooms, because the base of the mushroom is, you're either going to have brown or a tan, and they have to be crisscross. You know, they don't line up. They have to alternate. That's why that placement is very important. Then we'll place the strip on the bottom of this second row. Just making sure I had everything lined up there. And where the pieces kind of are different sizes, what I do is I just follow the edge of the strip. So instead of sewing these or pressing these out, I'm going to go ahead and sew this one large strip. It's going to connect the bottom of our first row to the top of our second row. Making sure that lines up there. And making sure it lines up down here on the bottom. I like to get a little bit of the row sewn, and then I will kind of straighten it all out and make sure it's all good and straight. And like right here, my little mushroom, it kind of goes a little below my strip. So in order to keep it straight, I'm following the edge of my strip there. Now I will need to press this because I will have to sew that second strip. Well, I may be able to do it without pressing. We're going to see. Guys, here is the second block for the Poppie Cotton sew along. I think it's called Country Blessings. Yes. If this is not the cutest little mushroom that I have ever seen, that is just adorable. And it wasn't hard. The hardest part is the templates, to cut the fabric for on the templates. But as far as putting it together, like I told you in that first block, this ranks up there with Cotton Cuts, because Cotton Cuts is pre-cut. This one is not. You do have to cut your own fabric, but the instructions are spot on, simple, easy to understand instructions. So guys, thank you so much for joining me today while I sewed. I do plan on having the rest of these blocks come out. We're on what, June? This is month 6 and I'm on month 2. This is month 2 block. So I'm hoping to catch up with them before the July one comes out, but I'm probably not going to, and that's okay. That'll be okay. But guys, thank you so much for joining me today as I sew. I'm so happy that you came and spent the day with me. I would love it if you would leave a comment and tell me what you think. I do try to respond to each and every comment personally. And as always, until I see you again, have a very blessed day. Goodbye, y'all.